So I get asked this question at least once a week, and it's this: Cam, can I just use my iPhone to make video content for my business? And the answer might surprise you. Like, yes, you absolutely can, but there's a massive catch that nobody talks about. And if you miss this, it doesn't matter if you're filming on an iPhone, a $50,000 Red camera, Ari Alexa, whatever the case is, a Black Magic camera, your video still won't get you clients. So let me explain. So I used to work at ESPN. So I've been around some of the best cameras and best equipment in the industry. And I've been in studios with lighting rigs that cost almost more than some people's cars. And now I run GoldenCam Media, where I build video content systems for brands, businesses, and entrepreneurs. So I've seen both ends of the spectrum, right? You got the high-end Hollywood studio level production. Then you got the scrappy entrepreneur that's filming in the office with a phone. And here's what I've learned: like, the gear you use accounts for maybe 10% of whether your video actually works as a business tool, maybe. So that other 90% is strategy. And that's the part almost everybody skips. So let me give you a real example, right? So I've seen cosmetic dentists, I've seen all these big businesses spend $15,000 on a production company, come in with a full crew, professional lighting, cinema cameras, like the absolute works. And they made this gorgeous, 3-minute brand video, and it looked like a Super Bowl commercial. And can you guess how many new patient appointments it generated? Absolutely zero. Then I've seen a med spa owner pull out their iPhone, film a 60-second video explaining what to expect during a hydrofacial treatment, post it on Instagram, and book 3 new appointments that same week. And I can even use myself for an example. Like, I post on TikTok, I got over 100,000 followers. And if you want to follow me on TikTok, the link to my TikTok is down in the comments. Like, that's a shameless plug. But all the videos, or a vast majority of the videos I post on TikTok, are just on my iPhone. Like, there's nothing fancy, there's nothing special about it. And I've posted videos that have gotten 17 million views, 5 million views. Like, it's crazy. Now back to this med spa example. This is from an iPhone in the treatment room, like no fancy equipment, no production crew. So you're probably thinking, like, what's the difference? And it was not the camera. It was definitely the strategy behind the content. So we got the dentist who had this beautiful video, but it didn't answer any questions from potential patients. It didn't address any of the pain points. It didn't make the patients feel like, hey, this dentist really knows what I'm looking for, and they can really help me solve my problem and my issue that's going on with my teeth. And overall, it didn't give the viewer a reason to take action. It was just basically some pretty footage with some music over it. Now, the med spa owner's video, this was simple, but it educated her ideal client. It built trust by showing her face and her expertise, and it also had a clear call to action at the end. So here's another thing a lot of business owners leave out of their video content, and it's a very small tweak, but adding a CTA at the end of your video. Basically, that's just telling people, what do you do? What do you want them to do next? What's the next step that you want them to take? Do you want them to comment a word so your automation can send them a freebie? Do you want to sign up for your email list? Do you want them to DM you personally, book on your calendar? Like, it's such a simple thing, but if you don't tell people what to do next, they're not going to do anything. And another pro tip about CTAs: do not sit up here and stack CTAs on top of each other. People that do it on YouTube, they're the worst about it. They'll be like, comment, share, subscribe. Do all of this stuff. And when you sit here and overload people with all these options, they're not going to do any of those things you mentioned. So when it comes to CTAs, one CTA is all you need. Whatever the highest leverage thing is for you, like whatever the best CTA or the best action for you is, stick to that. And going back to the med spa example, like, her CTA was just book your hydrofacial today. The link is in my bio. Short, sweet, simple, and to the point. Now, that's the strategy versus production value. And strategy is going to win every time. Now, does that mean you should never invest in professional video production? Absolutely not. Because as a videographer myself, there's a time and a place for high quality production. And I obviously believe in that because it's literally my business. But here's when it matters and when it doesn't, right? Professional production matters when you're building a content system. So when you're creating a month's worth of strategic video content in one filming day, like having professional equipment, lighting, and editing, all that elevates everything. But the quality compounds over time, right? Your brand looks more premium, your audience perceives you as more authoritative, and the content performs better because the audio is clean, the visuals look good, and the editing just keeps people watching. Now, professional production does not matter when you don't have a strategy. If you don't know what to say on camera, who you're talking to, or what action you want the viewer to take, a better camera is not going to fix that. So do not sit up here and go buy a $10,000, $30,000 Black Magic or a Red Dragon camera just because you feel like the camera is going to bring people to you. Because let's be real, they don't care about what you're shooting on. The clients that come to business, they only care about, can you solve my problem? Not do you have the fanciest equipment or the most up-to-date camera. And I'm foot stomping this, but like I said, a better camera is not going to fix that. You're just going to have a bunch of fancy, good-looking content that just doesn't do anything. So here's my honest framework for thinking about gear as a business owner, as an entrepreneur. If you're just getting started with video and you've never posted consistently before, just use your iPhone. Like seriously, don't let the gear be the excuse that stops you from starting. Like your iPhone shoots in 4K, the camera quality is incredible. Just make sure you have, decent lighting, which can honestly be a big window in your house, and decent audio, which can be a $30 lapel mic from Amazon. So that's really all you need to get started, to start creating. And honestly, experiment, like get comfortable on camera. Like the camera doesn't have to be rolling. You can just practice talking in front of the camera in your house and learn what your audience responds to. Like the iPhone is more than enough for this stage. Now, if you've been posting and you're starting to see some traction, but you want to level up the quality as far as video and audio, that's when you want to start thinking about a simple upgrade, like a good mirrorless camera, a basic lighting kit, and a quality microphone. You're probably looking at, $1,500 to $3,000 total. So that setup itself will serve you for years. And if you're at the stage where video works for your business and you want to scale it into real lead generation, that's when you bring in a video content partner like me. Not because you need better gear, but because you need a system and you need someone who understands your business or looks to understand your business, your client journey, and how to create content that actually moves people from just sitting here watching a video to booking and paying you money and getting on these calls with you. Now, for some of my videographers and cinematographers that are watching this, you might not like this, but the gear conversation is literally a distraction. Like I've been in rooms at B&H photo events surrounded by hundreds of thousands of dollars of equipment. I can tell you with absolute certainty that none of it matters if you don't know why you're creating a video in the first place. So let me give you 5 quick rules for video gear as a business owner. So rule 1, start with what you have. Like your phone is fine. The best camera is the one that you actually use and know how to use. Rule number 2 is invest in audio first. Bad video with good audio is watchable, but good video with bad audio is unwatchable. Get a lapel mic. It's one of those little microphones that you can clip on your collar or your shirt or something like that. But I'm telling you, you definitely want to make sure you want to prioritize audio over video, because if people will forgive bad video, but they will not forgive bad audio. If they can't hear you, if they can't tell what you're saying, if the audio is all crackly and they hear wind and they hear all this other extracurricular stuff going on the microphone, they're not going to want to watch the video. So make sure you get a nice lapel mic or a little microphone or something like that, but make sure you prioritize that audio. Now, rule number 3 is use natural light whenever possible. So you can film facing a window, it's free, and it looks great. So you can literally just sit in front of a window in your house to get good natural light, and you won't have to spend any money on a light, or you can film outside as well, because the biggest, freest natural light that we have is the sun, of course. All right, rule number 4. So don't buy gear until you post it consistently for at least 30 days. Like you need to prove to yourself that you'll actually use the gear before you spend money on it. Because here's a scenario I want to play out for you. You sit here and you go spend thousands of dollars on equipment, right? And the equipment gets here, you're trying to set it up, and you're already confused or upset on how to set up the equipment. So that's one hurdle. And then the next, you got to set it up and come up with content ideas. So now you got all this equipment that you may or may not know how to use. And you also have to come up with content ideas. Now, some people be like, oh, I'm overwhelmed. And then the equipment is just sitting in the corner collecting dust. So you spent, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 on equipment that's just collecting dust because you got overwhelmed. So wait until you build up that consistent muscle of posting so that when your equipment gets here, you'll know how to use it and you actually have a plan to use it. But like I said, I'll foot stomp this again. Prove to yourself that you will actually use this equipment before you sit up here and spend money on it. All right, rule number 5, when you are ready to scale, invest in strategy, not more equipment. Like a video content partner who understands your business will give you 10 times the ROI of a new camera or a new light or a new microphone. Now, I know some of you watching this are past the iPhone stage, but you've been posting, video works, but you're still stuck because you don't have the time or the expertise to really turn it into a system that generates leads for you consistently. But that's exactly what I do at GoldenCam Media. So I build done-for-you video content systems for service-based businesses, brands, and entrepreneurs. So basically the strategy, the filming, the editing, the repurposing, all that good stuff, all of that is what I take care of. So if you want to talk about what that looks like for your specific business, there's a link in the description to book a free breakthrough strategy session with me. And if you want to keep learning on your own, I'll also put together a free guide called The 3 Biggest Video Mistakes Business Owners Make. And it covers the most common traps I see businesses fall into with video. And it is free. The link is also down in the subscription. And that is 100% absolutely free. And the link is also down in the description. So hit that subscribe button if you're a business owner, if you're an entrepreneur, if you own a brand and you want to grow with video, because every week I'm breaking down exactly how to make video work as a business tool, not just look good on your field. So drop a comment and tell me what you're currently filming on. Are you using the iPhone? Are you using the camera? Nothing? Maybe you're using nothing yet. I genuinely want to know where you are in your video content filming journey for your business. So let me know down in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.